All right, what's up, y'all? All right, so what's up, y'all? Somebody's got to get in, talk about some serious shit. So now I got two people in here. Something today. What I saw was the D rapper from rap at 23 to get into real estate. Yeah, it's always poor quality, bro. Always poor quality with the lives. I feel like I'm wasting my breath. What's up, Gina? My breath a lot when I do these lives because I know the quality of it is sometimes poor and it'll cut in and out and I can see it happen sometimes on my screen, sometimes I can't, you guys. But what we're gonna talk about today is Lil fucking Bibby. He's a Chicago rapper who's really from the shit and he's fucking smart. What's up, Jim? I just put out another credit video, but this pertains to credit, okay, you guys? All right, so Lil Bibby was like, oh, I gotta turn my seat heater off. Every time I turn my car on, my shit resets and it starts warming the seat up again. It makes me like all hot, uncomfortable and shit, and I don't know why I'm all irritated, and I'm like, damn, shit's burning me, man. So let me get comfortable, you guys. So Lil Bibby is a Chicago rapper who nobody's seen in a while, right? This fool made DJ Vlad show his face. He's like, yeah, I'll do an interview with you, Vlad, but you got to show your face. So it's Bibby and Vlad sitting right across from each other. I've never seen Vlad show his face in an interview. I had never seen Vlad's face until my homie Googled it and would laugh and was like, oh, you ain't never seen that motherfucker? I said, hell no. I said, what do you look like? He said, I'll show you. Boom. Googled him and showed me to him. So now you guys got to understand, DJ Vlad interviews a lot of rappers, but he'll never show his face except for to a retired rapper who said, I got out of rap because I was going broke and I got into real estate and now I'm rich. And see, this is what I'm talking to you guys about when I say the dope game is for snitches in the government and if you want to work for the police, because that's all the setup, right? So the real success, you guys, is in owning properties, some vehicles that they depreciate, and don't get it fucked up. Properties, there's a lot of maintenance with those too, but you got to own some shit out here, you guys, and you got to have credit because you want to spend their money. I'm spending their motherfucking money, dog. I'm not spending my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people think that I just walked in there and dropped 20 or 12 bands for this Rolex, you're out of your mind, dog. Hell no. I put that shit on my credit and paid it like halfway off when I got shot. When I got shot, I was like, you know what? For like 4 months, I wasted $10,000 making all my payments on 17 or 18 accounts. And then when the reality set in that I just couldn't do this anymore, and I had to tank my credit score, it was the best feeling I ever had in my life. Your credit is like this huge responsibility that when you do it right, you take it more serious than anything, you guys, right? But at the end of the day, you're basically at some point not going to be able to pay your debts, man. At least a guy like me, I'm going to have some kind of unfortunate incident happen to myself, which this time it was getting shot for the first time, that forced me to say fuck $75,000 worth of accounts that I owed. The only thing I kept paying on was my car, so they couldn't come and seize, or not seize it, but repossess it. They can't repossess my Rolex. They can't repossess nothing off my neck. As of right now, I don't have any properties in my name, So they can't take none of them. Okay? But I'm also in a situation where I'm not technically bankrupt either. So I can't just go be like, oh yeah, I'm bankrupt, because then they're going to be like, you got to come off all this and that and everything else that you have that we've seen in your YouTube videos. I don't fuck around and give nobody no opportunity to send me to jail, you know? So I'm not bankrupt, and I can't just be like, yeah, that shit was fake, dog. It's plated, man. Like, nah, they'll figure me out. So when you claim bankruptcy, you have to reveal every asset that you have. So I can't just say I'm bankrupt, you guys, and have everything go away off of my credit. I wish I could, but I'm not going to risk lying to the federal government, and I'm not going to give back everything that I've fought damn near to the death to keep. What would be the point of that? So I'm just going to take all that negative shit on my credit. I'm going to start disputing all of it and claim that I know nothing about any of these accounts, because shit, I really don't remember what's what and who's this, and you know, so shit, like I'm just going to dispute this shit. I was actually taught that in a prison release class. This guy was like, hey, this isn't very ethical for me to tell you guys, but do you know why you should always dispute every and anything on your credit? And I popped my hand up and I was like, I know. Mind you, this is prison release class. I said, because I already knew a lot of shit. I was already gamed up before I went to the joint. I didn't really need prison to make me necessarily change, you know? I thought that was Officer Venezuela over there, man. He don't want to see me for shit. Them cops, like most of the time, you guys, I'm going to jump off subject. Most of the time, when you put a cop on blast like I did on the internet, I guess it's a new thing. It's a new experiment. Normally, when you start shit with the cops, they pull you over every fucking day, every time they see you, 3 times a day. What putting the cops on the internet did for me is made them never fuck with me again. They won't. It don't even matter. Like, unless I'm really, really doing some shit, they're just going to drive the other way and be like, oh, man, fuck, that's crazy. Nick, man, you seen what he did to Venezuela, man. Like, fuck that. I don't want to get called a bitch and a dick sucker for the next 10 minutes. I'm not testing crazy. Okay, so back on to the situation, right? As far as with, like, all the accounts that I had to let go to default, you guys, that's like death, man. Like, as far as your credit. But I've just started building up positive credit from like a certain point. Like, I'm not going to have any more bad shit on my credit. There's shit that's going to be there, but all my credit from here on is going to be positive. I was even allowing my car payment to go late because my credit was already shit. It didn't matter. Okay? But once I started to build my credit again, I was like, I need to get my car payment caught up and never be late on it again, because it's a loan that can build my credit. As long as I keep paying it on time and don't have any late payments, from here on out, it'll start to build positive credit, even though there's so much negative in the past. That's life in general, you guys. You're always going to leave a wake of shit in your trail, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's always going to be unpaid debts. There's always going to be situations that come up that you're not ready for, all the way until the one that takes your life. Okay? So know that life is going to end bad one way or another. That's the beauty of it. It always ends bad. That's the thing about life, you guys, is it always ends bad for you. I don't give a fuck if you're a billionaire. Your last days is going to be probably kind of hard for you. You know, it's always going to end bad, you guys. So plan for that. Live your life like that. Don't be totally reckless, but also know that you can never cling to life as hard as you might think you can, because you got to give it up. You're going to have to give it up someday, you guys. All right, so Lil Bibby is the only motherfucker that I've ever heard of in my life say that I retired from rap because I was broke. And got into real estate, and now I'm rich. There's a lot of guys with that story, but they don't come back to tell it to you. You know why? Because it's boring. There's no gunplay in it. There's no drug dealing in it. You know what I'm saying? There's no assaults. It's just like a normal, successful business that runs smoothly and you don't go to prison. People aren't used to that shit, though. Like, people always feel like, yeah, honestly, you guys, my life of crime is way much more exciting than my life of success. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, man. But I'm just one of the lucky ones that gets to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Most people are in the dirt for a fraction of how I'd lived, you know? And you've seen that with like some of the stories that I tell you about my homies, man. You know? So that's like solid proof. Like, I don't want to just be on here talking, you guys. I try to bring you to the streets. Like, I don't want to just be sitting in my room jacking off telling you guys fucking YouTube stories. You know, like, I just feel like for me to really tell you guys these stories, I have to be out here where they happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done a few videos in other places. They just don't feel right, man. This is how I always have been. I've always been in the streets, even if I'm not doing anything or interacting with people. I've always watched life, and I've always studied people. Okay? That is what I do. I study people. I'm collecting data that at some point I'm going to have to like divulge all this information to somebody, whether it's God or whoever the fuck. I have to collect all this information because I have to testify in front of the Most High at some point. And I know that shit. And it can't be lies. And I want to be able to really be able to tell the truth about life and what's wrong with it and what needs to change with it and just the problems that I have with this planet and with this whole system of shit. You know what I'm saying? So you guys got to understand, who else got DJ Vlad? I know a lot of y'all might not even know who DJ Vlad is, but just, I don't know if y'all really pay attention to that kind of shit, but just know that he's one of the biggest rap DJs that does interviews. He's the biggest, okay? And for Lil Bibby to not be a rapper, Vlad, honestly, you guys, it doesn't matter if Vlad's a rat or not, because he's going to ask you a question, and it's up to you to answer it. Now, he did an interview with Pee Wee Longway, and he was like, man, are you a Crip? And he's like, no, I just like the color, man. It's just a nice color, man. And he was like, he was asking him all these questions, and he was just dodging them. Pee Wee was dodging them. Like, you could see a look on his face was shifting too, like. But, and he was just had a shit grin on his face, right? Mouth of gold teeth. He wouldn't admit to shit. He wouldn't even admit the name of his record label, which was Money, Power, Ammunition. He wouldn't even say it. He wouldn't even say it. I forgot what he said, but he wouldn't even say his own fucking record label. Like, he was not playing with Vlad, you guys. Like, I'm not, I think Vlad's a bitch. Vlad's a culture vulture. He's a piece of shit. I don't like Vlad, so don't get it fucked up. But I respect Bibby for what he did. And Bibby probably put his life in danger just coming out and keeping it real. I retired from being a rapper to become a rich real estate motherfucker. I'll probably get you killed by one of these fucking scumbag ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That don't want us to win. There is a lot of individuals that are wealthy that claim they're from the streets, and they're right with the fucking bamboozle bullshit to keep you ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, in his video, I forgot the OJ story. That shit wasn't about OJ at all, you guys. Like, he might have spun it. It wasn't even about that. It had nothing to do with that, right? So, in that video, He talks about it for a split second. He's like, you know what's more important than fucking burning money at the strip club and throwing money around? He was like, credit. It didn't even rhyme. Shit didn't even fucking rhyme, right? And I'm like, damn, like, and I still can't give Jay no credit because he just spoke the word but didn't explain it to you guys. Why don't you explain it, dog? You're a billion times bigger than me. Why don't you save us? Why don't you save somebody, dog? Like, y'all don't understand how fake these motherfuckers really are. I know, because I've been in the streets, and I'm out now, and I know how to legitimize myself. So now I understand that nobody taught me shit. My dad didn't. He should have taught me this. My mom didn't. You should have taught me this. And maybe they didn't have a full understanding of it back then. But I'm pissed off that nobody taught me this, and I had to learn it on my own. On my own. Who the fuck pulled my coattail to credit? I got a large settlement, and I had a big check for like $20-some thousand, and I started to build my credit because I knew I had clean money. I don't know who pulled my coattail to it, but this is back in like 2006 or 7, okay, is when I started to become aware of building my credit. Now, the way I did it was with 3 secured loans and $3,000 on each secured loan. Was that what it was? No, nope, fuck it, you guys. I had 3 secured loans and I had 1,000 on one. I had 2,000 on another, and I think I had 3,000 on another. Okay? So that's how I got in the credit game. The credit game is I bought my way in. I forced my way in by kicking the door down, and then socking somebody in the fucking face. And then I was just right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't stop me now. Credit's not about color. A lot of people feel like that it's a race thing. I promise you guys it's not. There's no racial barriers with credit. So don't fucking play yourself. They don't even really know they don't give a fuck. They don't care what color your skin is. They don't care where you're from. When your credit portfolio is to the point where you can just go to the dealership. When I went to the dealership and got this vehicle, they didn't check to see if I had a job. They just believed me because my credit was that good. And I only had like a 620 score. What's up, Hashes? You son of a bitch. DJ Vlad. Fuck yeah, I didn't even get to watch it, dog. I didn't even watch it all. I watched like 2 or 3 minutes, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta make a video about this because I've never seen anybody. Gordy, have you ever seen anybody say they retired from rap because they were broke, got into real estate, and now they're rich? You know it's a common story, but nobody tells it because once they get out, they don't give a fuck about the people still in it. You know? Yeah, it's one of his most recent videos that he did. It's fucking him sitting there. DJ Vlad sitting there. It's DJ Vlad, Lil Bibby. And I might even say in the byline that DJ Vlad shows his face. But Bibby got a lot of clout, you guys. He must be a real rich motherfucker if he's got Vlad coming out and being like, okay. None of the other rappers can get him to do it. He just pisses in their face and asks them incriminating questions that's up to them to answer, whether they want to fuck themselves over or not. You know, so, yeah, Vlad's a bitch, man. Oh, he gets pissed in the video? I love it. I love it, man. I seen him do a video with the guy named Jay Morrison, who's into real estate. And DJ Vlad asked Jay Morrison something about his financials, and then Jay Morrison asked DJ Vlad about, he asked DJ Vlad about his financials, like how much did you make off your Nike stock when you sold it? Something to that effect. And Vlad's like, oh, you know, I don't really like to talk numbers. He's like, oh, you know, I understand, but you just asked me about mine. And Vlad was like, oh, you know, so I've seen a couple of people have Vlad fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And really, like, kind of check him in, like, a cool, respectful way where he doesn't run off like a little bitch. But I don't know, what does that say to y'all that Lil Bibby got him to show his face but no other rappers could? What does that say to y'all that Lil Bibby isn't even a rapper and won't claim it? I didn't know what happened to Lil Bibby, but there's a couple of things I've seen Lil Bibby talk about. One was he's like, man, he basically said that when he be high and all fucked up, that he be selling himself short as far as even with bitches and shit. He's like, man, I know I'm a good looking motherfucker. Like, I can get a decent looking bitch, like, you know? And then just what he said about his homies, getting murdered when they're high. He's conscious that drugs destroy us. You know what I'm saying? Fully conscious. Fuck around, give you low self-esteem when you don't even got low self-esteem. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I didn't know how smart he really was until I seen him on Vlad. I didn't know what happened to him. But pay attention, because the rest of them boys been getting smoked. King Von, FBG Duck, there's so many rappers from Chicago. Crump. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and name them all because there's so many of them, man. You know what I'm saying? Melly, Pappy. Like, you guys, there's hundreds of them. These are just the guys that were famous. There's thousands of them. Thousands of them. We got to stop this shit. There's only one way to do it. And it's actually being successful, having money, teaching this shit to our kids, man. Like, damn, somebody could have taught me better sooner. You know what I'm saying? But then maybe I really wouldn't have respected everything the way I do now. So I know everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So, but this shit is confusing, you guys, but I'm here to teach it to you. You know, like, I've like literally forced it on a couple of my homies. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers are going to thank me. They're in the comments right now, too. You're going to thank me for this shit in like 6 months to a year when you're smashing around in a fucking Hellcat wide body or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or Porsche 911 or something, man. Like, trust me. Trust me. Anybody that's starting now, you guys are in a better position than me because I have a lot of negative shit on my record, too. You know? Even though they say having bad credit is better than no credit, which is true. But having a little bit of good credit is much better than having bad credit. But no credit just means you don't exist in this world. Okay? So that's why they say having no credit is bad, because it just means you don't exist for shit. You could have spent $10 million. They'll look at you like the brokest motherfucker in the world and won't give you a $100 credit card. But then they'll go fuck with somebody like me that they can see is already $70,000 in debt, $80,000 in debt, $200,000 in debt, but I'm still making my payments and never missed one. So they'll keep fucking feeding me and I'll keep eating until I can't no more. What interview is on? I hate Adam 22. I really don't like that corny motherfucker. Somebody was like, he's like a 16-year-old girl trapped inside of a 35-year-old man's body. I was like, damn, ain't that motherfucker though? Little gossipy ass bitch, man. Don't get me started, yo. Don't get me started, man. I'll fucking stump one of these motherfuckers' growths again like I had to do that pussy JD. I'll fuck your subscribers up. Don't get me started, man. I only got 1,000 or almost 1,200, but man, I'll get on that fool's head, man. I don't know. I'm sick of all this bullshit. You guys, it don't gotta be all this watered down pussy shit. It don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't gotta carry ourselves like little bitches neither, man. I mean, yeah, people say Vlad's an agent, but he asks questions and people answer them. You just gotta know how to talk and not hang yourself and know your situation. Because Vlad really don't know what you got going on. He's just asking you questions that maybe the police did give him a manuscript, like ask this, this, and this, see if they go. I believe that. I believe it to an extent that Vlad plays somewhat of a role in getting niggas popped off, but it's their own fault because they're even sitting down answering certain questions that they shouldn't. So you guys, it's really gonna be up to you. Like, I'm 43 years old, okay? If I was 23, I wouldn't be talking none of this shit because it'd all be still within the relevant of the statute of limitations, okay? So I wouldn't be telling you guys any of these stories because of my age and my fucking gray hair, okay? I can now talk. I know my situation. I know what I got going on, and I know what I have done in the past. But I'm still taking a gamble talking to you guys at all about anything because I don't have to. But honestly, it's funny to me because I would deny all this shit so hard in the past, even though some of it I probably could have admitted to. Gee, are you KP? Ain't that you, Hashish? Am I tripping? Fuck yeah, they got, man, yeah, but you guys gotta understand, if the police start asking me questions, I'll tell them to shut the fuck up. So why don't they tell Vlad to shut the fuck up? Straight fucking just fairy up in them old fake ass Versace shirts and shit, huh? Like, you guys, I haven't watched one of his videos for like a month or two, but I need to just to catch an inconsistency and punch him in the face again, because he don't even fight back. None of these YouTubers fight back when you slap them. I've never seen anything like that. Like, you can just beat the fuck out of them. They will not say crazy stories. I bet you guys, none of these, name one YouTuber, you guys, that has ever said my name, except for old racist ass Big Lance, and then, because he's like, this crazy stories guy might have a point about JD, man, like, whoa, and then JD called him a methadone junkie and an opiate head, and then he apologized to JD. I said, what you got? I ain't never seen no shit like that where a motherfucker will let somebody disrespect the fuck out of them and then apologize to them without even an apology. Yeah. Fuck yeah, you gotta pay attention to, like, sometimes, like, the little details, man. Like, these motherfuckers, like, when I seen Lance do that, I was just dumbfounded. Like, dog, you did not just call this guy out, and then he called you out and called you a bunch of shit that you probably are, and then you back down and apologize, and he still pisses in your face. Like, I don't, these guys are crazy to me, you guys. So I try and stay away from, at least the prison YouTube genre seems to be really tainted. You know, like ASD Docs, he's not a prison guy, so I didn't really have no problem doing an interview with him, you know? But yeah, the DJ Vlad, Lil Bibby interview, that shit was fucking legendary, and I only watched 2 minutes before I jumped on here to let y'all know, like, man, I ain't never seen nobody pull that one. And then even what he was talking about retiring from being, that's what caught my attention. At first, I could give a fuck less about Vlad's face. What caught my attention was him saying that he retired from being a rapper. What have I been telling you guys about the streets lately, and about the game, and about rapping, and about all this bullshit? He finally validated it for me. Thank you, Lil Bibby, for letting, I already knew, I know I'm right, but thank you for coming out of this shit, dog, and letting us know that, yeah, we can make it. I already knew it, but other people, he's bigger than me. So his message could carry a lot further, and it could reach a lot of people, you guys. I don't really know what Bibby's up to in his spare time. Well, I know what he's up to. Not fucking with the streets and making real money. You know? But those are the kind of individuals that I would actually sit down and work with. That boy local held his own. Yeah, there's people that have held their own with DJ Vlad. Definitely. It ain't just a couple of them. It's a few people. And I'm sure there's some interviews that he couldn't put out. You know? But it's also a lot of people that didn't hold their own and were too thirsty for the clout. Because these days, you guys, from the era that I'm from, you just move like this. You don't even talk. I'm not supposed to be doing none of the shit that I'm doing. Okay? Now, and that's just by the rules that I was raised on. I'm not a gang member, and I'm under nobody's fucking control. I don't fuck with gangs. I think they're just like the police. They're worse, almost, because, shit, I've been at the gun pointed by the cops 100 times. They ain't never fired a round at me, even when I was strapped. But I was unarmed when I was shot by a motherfucker just like me. You know? But there's not nobody that I even associate with or talk to anymore. People don't call my phone, want them to. There's like one or two people that I still want to reach out to me when they get out of prison. They might not, though. They might be like, damn, crazy, you're way too exposed, homie. Like, just bottom line, whether this is one thing that I know. My phone is automatically tapped, and they can turn my camera on right now, or when I'm at home, or when I'm doing anything. I know that when I'm walking around with my phone in my hand, I know that they've activated my camera. They're looking around my areas. I'm not dumb. Okay? So you guys better know that shit too. When I came on here, I basically just fucking turned the camera on for everybody, even when I'm in privacy. If you guys have ever seen how easy it is for them to turn on the camera on your computer or on your phone at any given second. Any given second. And this shit is crazy, man. Like, I seen a movie, and this isn't how I know this, but they actually showed it in that Edward Snowden movie. They showed it, how fast, and he talks about it. That camera, man, you guys, is so detrimental on your phone. They'll just activate it. They don't need a warrant, but they're not going to ever come to you with the pictures. This is going to be like high-level CIA shit. They're never going to show you, like, oh, hey, you got fuck this or that. Like, they're probably not even going to come and arrest you. They're just going to gather data and know exactly everything that you've done, whether they arrest you or not. That's what scares me about everything, you guys, is almost every crime I ever committed is known by law enforcement. You know, and that shit bothers me, even though I know a lot of shit's past, everything's about past statute of limitations. Attempted murders, kidnappings, all kinds of shit, you guys, that you never would want law enforcement to ever have your name on in a box on a piece of paper. And it's a piece of their documentation about who you are. But this is a reality for me. So that's why when I tell you guys some of these stories, this shit is already known by law enforcement. And this shit's so far in the past, some of these victims aren't even alive no more. Let alone will they ever talk, if they ever had a chance. Like, hell no. Like, a lot of these people, some of these people in these stories, man, aren't even like relevant to even, they're not around no more. I am. So I'm going to talk to you motherfuckers about what I feel like you need to know. You know? There's a lot of shit that I'm going to minimize. There's a lot of shit that I'm not even going to touch on at all. But I'm going to tell you as much as I can. And I'm going to be as honest as possible. And I'm not going to incriminate none of my homies. What's up, Alfonso? I'm not going to incriminate. I might incriminate myself. But I ain't going to incriminate my homies, man. That's one thing that they need to understand as they watch these videos. That I'm not going to put y'all in this shit like that. Like, I'm not going to do the Wes Watson and start name dropping relevant shit on people that it can still affect. I have a full understanding of everybody's situations. So know that when I make these videos, I make them with a lot of consideration for anybody that has ever been in the streets with me. You're not gonna get put in these stories by your name, okay? Unless it's something that cannot hurt you. I still ain't gonna do it though. I'm still not gonna start talking about certain people. Certain people I will talk about, but there's other people I'll never mention their name. Never. I just won't, because they're just that secretive of motherfuckers. I'm just not gonna say your name. I'm never gonna admit we know each other. None of that shit. It's not gonna happen. You know? So know that there's a lot of people, you guys, that I just can't ever speak their name. And there's some really interesting motherfuckers. Some of the most interesting stories I can't tell. Like, there's a story where my guy hit a lick for $550,000 overnight, and I didn't believe him. He's like, crazy, man. I had robbed this bitch ass motherfucker that placed the order and didn't come pick it up. And I'm like, oh, you want to play games, huh? So he called back like a couple of days later and thought he was still going to come get the order. And when he showed up, he didn't get the order. He got the business. So when I stripped him for everything, I had these earrings, right? And y'all got to understand, I don't rob people because I need money. I rob people when I need to get them from around me or out of my circle, or to get a certain point across that we are not cool anymore. One thing that I've noticed, that when you jam a gun in somebody's face, they usually never try and be your friend again. But if you beat them up, they might still try and be your boy again. If you snap on them, they might think that you guys are still cool. But what I've noticed, when you jam a gun in somebody's face, 99% of the time, they never want to be around you again. So it's a really good way to get people out of your circle that you feel like are going to be detrimental later on. Snitch, try to set you up, or just be a pussy in general, you know? So you have to get these guys from around you, but they're always going to want to be around you. If you're a solid goon in the street, they're always going to gravitate to you. So you have to chase them off, because they're always going to want to be around you. It doesn't mean they're your friends, though, right? So we're going to blaze up a cigar, man. Cigar time, motherfuckers. And see, this isn't a blunt. I want you fuckers to think that I'm smoking pot, you know, because I don't smoke pot, okay? Now, if you smoke weed in the state of Minnesota and you're driving a motor vehicle, you will lose your license. No, it's not a Swisher, bro. It's not a Swisher. What kind of jackass smokes Swisher Sweets, man? You know what I'm saying? I've known a few people to do that, but them fools were out of their fucking mind, if you ask me, man. But, yeah, this cigar brand is actually named My Uzi Weighs a Ton. Google it. It's a real cigar brand. I first saw it when I was in Arizona because my homie had a hat that said that shit on there. I'm like, bro, where'd you get that hat, man? He's like, oh, it's a cigar hat. My dad's like a cigar rep, whatever the fuck they are. Like a part-time shit. His dad was a baller, man. And my boy Bobby Hill. Shout out to Bobby Hill down there in Tempe, Arizona, man. Yeah, so my boy Bobby introduced me to these cigars when, what's up, Ray? My boy Bobby introduced me to this cigar brand when I lived in Arizona. And like I was saying, the cigar brand is named My Uzi Weighs a Ton. And I don't really know a lot about the taste of cigars, but I just thought it was cool. So I'm like, you know what? That's tight, man. Like, so I sometimes I smoke them, you know? So yeah, we're having cigar time right now. Cigar time, motherfuckers. But you gotta know, when you're having cigar time, you can't just be any old where. You gotta be somewhere like this. You gotta be somewhere like this, man. Like you wanna be right in the hood. Anybody from Minneapolis, Minnesota knows right where this is. Fucking just a dump, you know what I'm saying? But these are the kind of areas that I like to tell you guys my stories from, because this is where they come from. A lot of people are like, man, that guy lives in his fucking car, man. I'm like, how the fuck can I? Like, I wish life was that simple, man. Fuck, man. Like, how the fuck can you just live in? I mean, you can live in a car because, in my opinion, anybody that's really been out here in the world, if you haven't lived in your vehicle at least once or twice in your life, then you ain't really been out here on your own. Like, I had to tell my son that shit. Like, man, you complaining about shit, bro? Like, I've lived in my car with thousands of dollars in my pocket because I was just so fucked up. My behavior was just like, I couldn't really be anywhere. I've been kicked out of like some of the worst hoods around. Like, how the fuck do you get kicked out of the hood, man? Fuck you. I remember when I lived on the east side of St. Paul, man, they used to trip on me about my lowrider. How the fuck are you gonna complain about my lower? And I want to say it wasn't even the music, you guys. I want to say they used to complain about me hitting switches in the fucking street. Like, and you know what? I have to, like, even now, I'm not even in the streets like that, and I still look like a dope dealer, man. I'm not. I don't always have this exact look, but this is where I'm the most comfortable. This is my most comfortable look. This is me. You know, and man, like, man, I've been a big problem throughout my life, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not anymore. You know, so I got to accept a lot of shit that I've been through. You know, as like, damn, I kind of somewhat brought a lot of this shit on myself at the end of the day. Because I'm not somebody you can just force to do something that I don't want to do. Yeah, man. So Lil Bibby DJ Vlad. Lil Bibby, man. Motherfucking hero. He was like, man, I went broke being a rapper. Spending 6-7 bands on clothes and only wearing them one time. He was like, man, I started looking at my bank account in my pocket, and he was like, I just can't do it. That's what you guys got to understand. Like, all this shit that you see people wearing, they really can't afford that, you guys. Like, nobody can afford Louis Vuitton and Gucci and shit like that. Like honestly, like, nobody can really afford that shit, you guys, except for celebrities. If you're a dope dealer, you really still can't afford that. You're just looking like you can. That shit's just a facade, you guys. You know what I'm saying? So, gotta get this shit off the calendar. Yeah, that shit is just a fucking facade, basically, man. But them guys go broke. He said, man, I went broke trying to basically keep up with the Joneses. You know? I've never heard. I know that Lil Bibby has good credit because you can't have properties if you don't have good credit. My shit ain't even good enough to get a property right now, you guys. So I know Lil Bibby has some A1 credit. You know? Probably in the multi-million-dollar bracket. He's probably got 10 million in credit, 20 million in credit. Who knows? Why spend your money when you can spend somebody else's money? Come on, you guys. And it ain't the fucking mafia who's gonna come and bust your motherfucking head the first time you don't pay. They don't operate like that. Have you ever heard of fucking how aggressive a debt collector is? That's as bad as it gets. I just talk shit to him like, oh, you wanna suck my dick today? Oh, like, oh, you don't want to call me if you're a debt collector. Sometimes I'll just tell him my story. Like, you know what, man? I got blasted, yo. And I'll just tell him this long-ass, true-ass story of how I ended up this far in debt, right? By the end of the story, they don't ask me for shit. They don't say, well, hey, when are you going to pay us? They don't say, hey, they don't got shit to say by the time I'm done with my real story on why my credit went bad. Okay? I sometimes have fun with them and talk to them so long, they're trying to get off the phone to the next motherfucker after they hear my crazy ass. I'm like, oh, you guys aren't gonna come and fucking break my legs, are you? They're like, no. I'm like, I don't really give a fuck then. Oh, you're not gonna whack me, huh? Oh, okay, well then guess what, motherfucker? I'm not paying you. You're not my homie, and I don't know you. So if shit goes bad, I'm not paying you. That's how that works. 17 people in here, 10 of them are probably cops. Nah, but these days the cops are like, man, we better just leave crazy alone, because all he'll do if we throw him in jail is tell everybody not to plead guilty. All he'll do is start telling people to I'll cause a problem. I ain't even gonna beat nobody's ass. I might, but I'll just verbally cause a problem. I'll just start making people think about shit. Don't put me in the county jail. You're gonna get a whole bunch of motherfuckers fighting their cases. Whole bunch of them. I remember one time I was in the county, you guys. This fool had an escape. They send you out to the county workhouse on work release if you don't come back in this escape, right? Little white dude from over northeast, bullet hole, right? So this is 2012. This is when I seen Brian Griffin in jail. This is all the same time. So bullet hole's like, man, he said, man, this shit was hilarious. It wasn't funny, but he was like, man, bro, I went to court and I said, dog, you don't take the first deal. No matter what they offer you today, you say no. If they say you can go home today, you say no and you come back to this unit. You can't take the first deal. It's going to be a sucker's deal, homie. I'm going up too. And you're going to see how I go, okay? And when I went to court, I could have went home that day. They offered me a deal where I could have went home that fucking day. And I came back to the pod like a boss and was like, nah, dog, you never take the first deal, man. Like, nope. I told you, I could have went home today. Okay? So Bullet Hole goes in and talks to his public defender, right? And he's like, what'd he say to him? I got bad news and I got worse news. And he's like, what? And he's like, he said, here's your options. Prison or prison? Bullet Hole said he damn near fell out of the chair when that fool told him that shit, but he was just being real. Because you are going to prison because you already ran from a county facility that is a prison, but it's just a county one, okay? So now they have to send you to prison. The only debate was going to be for young Bullet Hole was how long was he gonna go to prison for? And that's why I explained to him, you can't take the deal they offer you today. It's gonna get better. They offered him, I think, 27 months. He said he almost fell out of the chair, man. I said, damn, dog, like what? And see, they set you up for this shit in these county workhouses. They let you leave every day on your own. And there's a part where you leave with a squad every day. And then there's a part where you get like dropped off by them at like a job of who they're cool with. And then you're like under the care of whoever owns that company for the day, right? So there's 3 different ways to fuck up. And a lot of people, you guys, end up running from the workhouse, which is a year commitment or less. Usually that's typical. Like, I guess you can do like 2 years in there on a gross misdemeanor technically, but it never happens. So nah, hell no, that shouldn't even be right either. Because if you're sentenced to a year and a day, you go to St. Cloud Penitentiary, MCF reception in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Okay, so if you have a year and a day, you go to the penitentiary. If you have a year, you go to the workhouse. So the workhouse is way more gangster than prison. Oh shit, I went to the workhouse like 5 or 6 times and was like this, like I thought that shit was bad. Like I was in there smoking weed and shit, fucking swallowing balloons, like man, and you're leaving, like, no man, like I didn't know how good I had it in the workhouse. I didn't know how good I had it. This is the worst thing about the county workhouse though, is you'll be in your cell smoking weed and you'll be like in the vent with the joint, right? The joint stays in the vent. And these bitch ass motherfuckers will come back from a meal or something and they'll be like, oh man, somebody's smoking that loud, man. Like, oh, what? They'll just start snitching. Then they'll go back to their cell and light up a cigarette and get caught with a cigarette and do like fucking 40 days in the hole for a fucking cigarette. I'll be damned if I'm in jail and I'm sitting there risking solitary confinement time for shit that's like legal on the outs. You got me fucked up, man. You know? But yeah, that's the only drug that I have ever brought with me to any facility, and that's, I wouldn't ever bring anything else with me, like not for any other reason, because if you bring something and you start slinging it around there, you're gonna get busted quick as fuck in a Minnesota jail or prison. So times that I've made it into the county with dangerous shit, that shit went down the toilet. Flush that shit. Yep. I remember one of those, what man, like, yeah, flushed it, dog. Flushed it. Like, I'll be damned if you motherfuckers need to be off that shit. That shit don't need to be in here. That shit's going down the toilet, man. Bottom line. And I don't trust none of you motherfuckers, like, hell no. And I'm not thirsty for dough, and I'm not staying here very long. So what reason do I got to do some dumb shit like that? You know what I'm saying? And put us all in a fucked up scenario over some punk ass dollars to spend on some ramen noodles or some Snickers, man. What is all that really worth, man? That's why jail, I don't really like to talk about it much, because to me it's the duller moments of my life. You know? It's just not exciting to me. It's just fucking dull. Like, I don't gamble, I don't do like this. Fucking get the fuck away from me, man. I'll go fucking sit in my cell, like, you know, like, man, I ain't with the prison society shit where like you're all institutionalized and all worried about everything they got going on in there and all their little rules. Like, fuck all your rules, motherfucker. I'm bailing out. Fuck out of here with that shit. I remember, man, a motherfucker asked me one day in the fucking street, he tried to like sell me or trade me some ramen noodles in the street like it was a dope deal, though. I'm like, man, if you don't get the fuck away from me with that shit, dog. Like, what the fuck? Honestly, you guys, I hadn't ate ramen noodles and I don't know how long until I went to prison, since I was a little kid. I ate too many of them one day and I was like, oh man, I don't like these no more. You know how you sometimes do that with something? You might love it. You eat any of them one day and you're just like, I'm never fucking with that shit again. And you just don't. Sometimes you years later go back to it. Ramen noodles was one of them things where I forgot what they tasted like. They're actually somewhat tasty, but I really forgot what them motherfuckers tasted like until I went to prison, man. Like, I couldn't understand all their little makeshift meals and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the fuck is this, man? Ain't no fucking pizza, man. Like, bro, I was only in the joint for like, what, like, I had a year, but I had like 35 days in the county. So it was like 6 months and 3 weeks or something. So I just kept going to the solitary. I could not like get into this groove of acceptance, I guess, is what I couldn't get into this groove of an acceptance or a comfortability with this kind of an existence. You know, like if right now I had to go for surely do the rest of my life I would hang myself the first week just to make sure they didn't make no money off of me. You know, you're not gonna make $1 million or $2 million off of me in the next 50 years as I'm making $0.25 an hour. I will not accept this existence. I won't. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'll go to jail. I ain't gonna do my whole fucking sentence. I promise you that. Like, give me life, natural life in prison. I promise you I'm not even doing a year of that shit. Fuck you. You got me fucked up. Okay? That's another reason I had to change my life. Because I'll end this shit, dog, before I accept failure. Okay? That's why I had to tell the guy at the Dodge dealership to replace my motor. Even though it was under warranty, I had to go so hard on these fools. Like, I had to go there, first of all, like 30 times. Do multiple oil consumption tests. Get fucked around. All this shit, and I'm pushing a hard line. Like, I don't know who you guys think I am, man. Like I didn't get out of prison yet. Let you guys do this shit to me. Like, and it came down to where me and the owner of the dealership, Dodge of Burnsville, we sat down in his office, and I said, hey, man, you know, all the shit I've been through, and I had already been shot at this point, too. I said, man, I got shot after I got the car. So I got shot in the middle of this in the middle of me arguing with these motherfuckers about replacing the motor because it was fucking up. I actually got shot pushing the hard line because somebody tried to rob me and I just couldn't accept it. I tried to actually cooperate with it. And then the dude pointed the gun at me and cocked the hammer back and was like, I'm gonna fucking blow your shit back, dog. So I was playing with him, moving slow and shit. As soon as he did that shit, I lost it, man. It was like, oh, what, you want this? Oh, here, you want? And I just ran up on him and grabbed the gun like I was trying to give him my bracelet. And we started to tussle over it, gun went off. It flew out of my hands. I had it by the cylinder and by the barrel, and my finger was obstructing the firing pin from hitting the primer. It was a revolver, and the hammer, the firing pin was on the hammer, okay? The firing pin on the second pull went through my finger and discharged, hit the primer, boom, the gun blew out of my hands. He still had it with both his hands. But when he grabbed the gun, when I grabbed the gun, he threw everything that he had previously scavenged up on the ground because he knew he couldn't risk losing that hammer. So he lost everything that he had got that far with, ended up back on the ground, and it got left there. My wife literally started picking the shit up right in front of him as he shot me. She didn't even run. He ran. That bullet hit me in like my upper femur bone as I was looking back at him. I didn't blink. I watched him shoot me. I was already running the other direction, but I turned around and watched him shoot me, man. When the bullet hit me, everything went flying out of my hands and I flew forward like 5 or 10 feet. And I was just slumped on the ground quiet. And he ran. I wouldn't give a fuck. I was in so much pain. I didn't care what he did after that. If he would have walked up on me, I might have gave him the watch. I might not have. I don't even know. I should have just gave it to him. But I just couldn't cooperate, man. So you really don't know what you're going to do when somebody tries to rob you. That's why people got to know robbing people. You really got to be careful doing that shit. You do that shit to the wrong motherfucker, he's just going to make you kill him. Right there on the fucking spot. It might be $20. He might just snap and be like, fuck you. Like, and now you got to blow him away. And you don't even have a choice. Now he's grabbing for your gun. He's swinging on you. All type of shit happens when you put somebody into flight or that flight or fight. You be motherfucking surprised how some people come out of that shit. What you gotta know is some people already want to die when they wake up that day. They're already just like looking for somebody to piss them off, and they're just gonna take it there. It's a lot of people running around that they're already living in a rage. I'm one of these people. I live in a rage. I'm pretty calm when I fucking talk to you guys on here. You ain't never really seen me fully snap. Not even on the cop. Maybe a little bit once I was in the back of the squad car, and I might have, it was getting close to, but now y'all ain't really seen me really snap yet. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen. But yeah, smoke a little bit more of the cigar, having flashbacks and shit, you know? Cigars, they kind of calm me even though they don't do anything, you know? Nah, I was just a little bit, bro. Like, I'm one of them people, bro. Once you piss me off, now you have to shoot me. Now you're gonna have to kill me, man. So, no, my temper gets fucking real bad, man. The way I maintain it is I don't put myself around people that I know are gonna make me lose my mind, man. No, I know, bro. I know. No, but you're right, though. I had to smoke the cigar a little bit. Al, you see, you know, I had to light the cigar, Al, so you are right. Hey, PTSD, dog. Like, PTSD like a motherfucker. Like, it's kind of for me when people are like, man, he's on meth. He's on, dog. If I was on meth, I've probably done that maybe a handful of times in my whole life, right? Once, I was kind of like forced to smoke it because this guy was bothering me so fucking bad. He was bothering me so bad. And I was drunk, but I still have a strong mind. He bothered me so bad that and became such a pest that I'm like, it's just going to be easier to smoke this fucking whatever this shit is, right? Now, this is back in the day, and this is how you're going to know how, okay? This drug always scared me from day one. So this fool pulls out a light bulb, right? And it's attached to like a hanger. It's a funny story, right? Like, I bet you a lot of you guys never even heard of this shit, this method of smoking it, okay? So this dope fiend jackass, who I know is a dope fiend jackass, right? Pulls out this light bulb, right? And we're in the bathroom and he lights it and it fucking starts swirling around. It just looks sinister, dog. I'm scared even watching what this fucking fool is doing. Now, at the time, bro, I've done acid. Oh, I'm a drug experimentalist, okay? So, but there's like something about like powders and snorting shit that I can tell ain't really a good idea. But I've still, sniffed a little of this here and there. But not that, right? Not what they're trying to do, the light bulb, right? So dude's like, so we're in the bathroom and I don't want to do this shit. And he's bothered me so much. So this fucking fool lights the light bulb and starts spinning and shit, man. Fucking, I don't know if this fool pulled out a straw or something, gave me like the straw, and I hit it. And this is like back in like the 90s, you guys. I'm like 17, and I'm 43 now. I hit it, and right when I hit it, it scared me. My heart started pounding and shit. Like, I didn't like it at all, man. Even drunk out of my mind, I didn't like it at all, man. Like, I didn't like that shit, man. So I always knew to stay away from it because I could just see that it's like some low class shit or something. Like, I could just tell, like, which all drugs are, but I could just tell there's something wrong with this drug because I'm going to tell you the first time I ever saw it. Now, around the same time, I was like 17, but this is before the trailer. So I've already seen what this is and been like, fuck no, dog. Like, So I seen this fool the day before. This is back in like maybe 95. I see this fool, and the day before, he was like, came over, copped some green or whatever, looked totally normal, right? Fast forward 24 hours, he's back in the spot where I met him before, and I'm getting back in his car. And he's got this little electric bong, right? It's like the size of a pop can. He's got this little electric bong. Oh, fucking pure evil, bro. They say when you get high on these kind of drugs, it's like witchcraft. And I think what they, like the Greek and Hebrew religion, they say that doing hard drugs is a form of witchcraft. Like, oh, it really is. And I got some other stories to back it up. And that Zeno Band's story is a classic example of how the demons will fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? So this fool tricked me into smoking. He bothered me into smoking. But I always knew to never do it. Because I seen this guy who was totally normal, right? Remember, he shows up with the bong. I'm jumping back to it. He shows up with the bong. And he's like, hey, man, you want to try this, man? It's this white dude, right? He's like, you want to try this, man? He's all fucking, his hair's fucking everywhere. He's all fucking crazy looking. And I don't even really know what it really looks like to be strung out on drugs back then. But I can tell that I don't want to look like him, right? So I'm like, no, man. Like, I looked at what was in his hand. It was a purple, rock that looked like a big piece of salt. Transparent. It was a light purple. Almost like a lavender, right? And I had never seen anything that color before. Or anything like that. And I just knew by looking at him, even being a drug experimentalist, I knew by taking one look at him that whatever he consumed to make himself look like that, I did not want to do. You know, so that was the first time I ever saw that product, and that was my impression of it. And fast forward 30 some years, oh yeah, it was the worst thing to ever hit the market. And Like, if somebody I even know is even in that world, even getting high on that, I won't talk to him. Even my homie Jimmy, if he's getting dusted on that shit, we can't talk. It's like a son to me. But if you're smoking that shit and fucking with that crowd of people, like, bro, like, we can't talk. We can't talk. You can't put me in that kind of risk, man. He just got 70 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put me in that risk, dog. I'm always here for you. He actually just lost his mom. He lost his appeal. And then he found out that his mom had passed away at the same time. So now he's getting out in like 2022 or 2023 or something like that. So he'll actually be out soon. But if he starts smoking that shit, like, it'll be like we never even knew each other. There's no fucking way, dog. You get back on that, anything, like, nope, no, like, you either do the right thing, dog, or I'm not in that shit. Like, I'm never gonna be in that. I'm not in nothing else. And you can't risk me, man. I can't be at risk, man. You know? Because of another motherfucker's habit, man. So I easily could have had all these same habits still too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be the same motherfucker still stuck out here doing bullshit. Like, you couldn't pay me to do these certain things that people have bothered me to do in the past. You couldn't pay me $1,000 now to do some shit like that. That's how different, you know, my mentality is as far as, like, when it comes to drugs and shit. Like, I just don't like them. I don't care if I sound like a hypocrite. I don't give a fuck. I don't like them. And I'm going to say it today, tomorrow, the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck, man. You know, like, I'm not going to, like, nope. I've been through the fucking gauntlet. I've been through the fire and the war. So I'm not going to baby nobody when it comes to this topic. Like, no. You know, I'm not going to coddle you, you know, like, get it together. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're the only one that can, you know? But shit, you guys, I'm